This is a community-supported legal education channel. Find out how you can support our mission at the links in the description below. I can't help myself. I have to talk about this really, I mean, the story is short and captivating. I just couldn't help myself. And when I saw this headline, I was like, you have to read this. So I'm talking about this story. Engineer intentionally crashes train near hospital ship Mercy, believing in weird conspiracy, feds say. I'm not going to show you the rest of the article because we're going to be making a fair use of it here. But yeah, the Washington Post reports that the USNS Mercy, which is a ship hospital, I think there are two of them now, right? There's one in New York Harbor and there's one in, it says San Pedro, California. And somewhere near Harbor Avenue, which I'm assuming is a road near the port of Los Angeles that is, right next to the harbor. And then there's train tracks. Now, why would train tracks be near a harbor? Well, it's because the train is bringing cargo to the ships. So they're often right next to one another. You got those big cranes that the ship container cranes that pick up the shipping containers and put them on the ships or take them off the ships. So you've got all that there. And there is a train engineer who was charged on Wednesday, Eduardo Moreno, with one count. I didn't even know this was a crime, of train wrecking. Did you know that train wrecking is a federal crime? Like literally it's called train wrecking. We'll see if that's actually a thing in a moment. He admitted to intentionally running the train off the tracks in the direction of the Mercy Hospital ship. Oh, there's a U.S. Attorney's Office statement. Let's see if we can open this up. This I can show you. Train operator at Port of Los Angeles charged with derailing locomotive near U.S. Navy's hospital ship Mercy. A train engineer at the Port of Los Angeles was arrested this morning, April 1st. You would think it could be a joke, but it's not a joke. Allegedly ran a locomotive at full speed off the end of rail tracks near the hospital ship Mercy. Eduardo Moreno of San Pedro was charged today in a criminal complaint with one count of train wrecking as a result of an incident Tuesday afternoon. According to the criminal complaint filed in the U.S. District Court, Moreno admitted in two separate interviews with law enforcement authorities that he intentionally derailed and crashed the train near the Mercy. Moreno ran the train off the end of the tracks and crashed through a series of barriers before coming to rest no more than 250 yards from Mercy. Although I'm going to assume that if he had got the train fast enough to actually leave the land area, I'm going to assume that the land is up here and the water starts to, the land underneath the water starts to go like this. So the hospital ship's going to be sitting on the water up here and the train's going to go like this. So I'm assuming it wasn't going to work very well to try and ram the Mercy. The incident did result in the train leaking a substantial amount of fuel oil, which required cleanup by fire and hazardous materials personnel. The train crash was witnessed by a California Highway Patrol officer who took Moreno into custody as he fled the scene. I'm assuming they mean that Moreno was fleeing the scene, not the Highway Patrol officer. The police then took custody of Moreno, conducted an interview, obtained permission to search his residence. He gave them permission to search his residence. Jeez. Of all the things not to do, like 1, don't wreck a train. 2, don't talk to police. 3, don't give them consent to search your things. I'm not saying this guy doesn't deserve it. I'm just saying when you do it, those are the rules. The FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force and the Port of Los Angeles Police are now leading the investigation. The Highway Patrol officer reported seeing the train smash into a concrete barrier at the end of the track, smash into a steel barrier, a second chain link fence. He contacted Moreno, made a series of spontaneous statements. Moreno said, "You only get this chance once. The whole world is watching. I had to. People don't know what's going on here. Now they will." No, this wasn't even reported as front page news. This was like fifth or sixth page news. Like I came across this on Reddit, but I was doing the deep dive on Reddit. I was a couple hundred posts into it. Maybe you guys saw it more than I did, but geez. Moreno acknowledged that he did it. Okay, we can just stop there. Everybody have a good day. Saying that he was suspicious of Mercy and believing it had an alternative purpose related to the situation or a government takeover. Moreno stated that he acted alone. First of all, let's be clear here. The government hasn't taken over anything. You are already taken over by the government. Like, you already live under the thumb of various governments. Like, this is not... these are restrictions that weren't in place before, but like, there's no government takeover. The government has already taken over. Like, that's the government. Just to be clear. Moreno said that he had not pre-planned the attack. While admitting to intentionally derailing and crashing the train, he said he knew it would bring media attention and people could see for themselves. I think someone might need to be treated for a mental health condition, because what were we supposed to see, Mr. Moreno? I'm really not that dumb of a person. I might not be the smartest person either, so you might have to connect the dots for me here. But what am I supposed to see for myself? In a second interview with FBI agents, Moreno stated that he did it out of the desire to wake people up. Well, I woke up this morning and now we're covering your story, so please, what am I supposed to have seen here? Moreno stated that he thought that the USNS Mercy was suspicious and did not believe the ship is what they say it's for. They. The Los Angeles police reviewed the video recorded from the locomotive's cab. According to the affidavit, one video shows the train clearly moving at a high rate of speed before crashing through various barriers and coming into close proximity to 3 occupied vehicles. A second video shows Moreno in the cab holding a lighted flare. That's right, he stuck a lighted flare out the window like it was some kind of movie scene. There we go. Maybe he's watching too many movies. I don't know. This sounds like something right out of a movie. He was held overnight on local charges, turned over to the FBI, I guess, Thursday morning. It says Wednesday morning. It says it happened on Wednesday, so it would have to be Thursday morning, but it says it's April 1st. I don't know. A criminal complaint contains allegations that the defendant has committed a crime. He's presumed innocent until proven guilty. Okay. The train wrecking charge alleged in the complaint carries a statutory maximum penalty of 20 years in federal prison. So yeah, so there you go. There is such a thing as a federal crime of train wrecking, in case you didn't know. Also, I don't think that the hospital ship Mercy is a conspiracy, let alone that's a very thin conspiracy to just say, I'm going to call attention to it and you're going to figure out the rest. Also, yes, I understand he's a scumbag for what he did. He's a criminal, or will be when he's found guilty, and he's presumed innocent until then. I get that. But don't talk to the police. Don't tell them you did it. Don't give them permission to search your residence. These things make your defense much, much harder for a criminal defense attorney. When a criminal defense attorney, which is not me, when a criminal defense attorney goes into court, they want to have all their options available. They want to be able to say, attack the search. You have a Fourth Amendment right against unwarranted searches and seizures. So if they did not get a warrant and they searched your property and they found something, like maybe they're going to find his manifesto or something. I don't think there is one. It sounded like he made the decision spontaneously out of some hopefully provable mental health condition for his sake. Especially since nobody was injured, like, at least it's just a derailed train and an inconvenience, and major inconvenience, and it's terrible and all that. We don't want to encourage people to take action like that, but still, at least no one was injured. Especially, of all the people who would have been injured in a train wreck, would be the engineer in the first car. So, I mean, how many, we just saw one where, what was it, was it Europe someplace? I forget exactly where, but there was a train that derailed because they were working on a bridge, and the bridge partially collapsed and the train couldn't stop, and I believe it killed the conductor or engineer who was in the first car. So it was one of those, it was a cargo train that was carrying like truck trailers, and the truckers were in the second car, and they were injured too. but they weren't killed. The engineer was killed, and that's sad. So what I'm trying to say is that Moreno could very easily have been killed in the act of derailing a train. Like, he's driving through several barriers, concrete barriers, steel barriers. Those are big barriers. So, yeah, something could have easily killed him. So he did that. But yeah, you don't admit your crime, because then at least there's some kind of opportunity for reasonable doubt. Now there's no reasonable doubt. He said he did it. So that's strike one. He gave consent to search his property. So now there's no Fourth Amendment search and seizure problem because he gave permission. So that's strike two. I don't know where I'm going with these strikes, but he's admitted to the crime. I mean, he did the crime. He admitted he did it. He gave consent. He interviewed with the police, apparently without a lawyer present. So don't do that. There's strike three. And I guess strike four is actually doing committing the crime. But yeah, don't do that. Don't be like Eduardo Moreno. I expect that a person who's done something like this spontaneously, it has some sort of temporary or permanent insanity and should never have been driving a train to begin with. I'm sure he passed all the tests and everything. That'll be investigated too, with how in the world he got to be in charge of a train when he doesn't seem to have the mental health capacity to not drive the train off the tracks. Oh, was it Denmark? Yes, it was in Denmark. So yeah, so that's happened. So and we all learned that there is a federal crime called train wrecking. I'm glad there is too. I love trains, and no, you should not wreck the trains. So let me know what you think of that in the chat at the comments below. I don't think we can make any more of a story out of that than we already did. So that happened. That happened. I have no idea what conspiracy he's talking about. I don't agree that there's a conspiracy. There's definitely lots of bad actors right now. We're going to talk about one of them next. We're going to talk about Dr. Drew here. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney. Please leave your comments in the comments below. Please like and subscribe if you like what I do. Please hit the dislike button if you dislike what I do. That also helps the channel. If you really did dislike it, that at least shows user engagement. So thank you to those of you who support our channel financially on patreon.com/ljfrench and sponsors.com/law. This channel would not exist without your financial support. Thank you to our $50 plus supporters in the month of April: Wes Delj, Video Quarantined, John Steele, Gavin Barnard, Eevi, Kyle Mudrak, Spirit Bear, Michael Pearce, Jan Negrey, Daniel Perez, Aspernari, Joe Tyson, Benjamin Hitov, Stephen, Ottah, Cute Grills in Your Area, Longreach Jones, Zachary Chaney, Nicely Done Defense, Wesley Mullen, Mullen PC, Sean McNamara, Josh Baker, Ugly Grill, Gregory, Shielo T, Michael Moore, and Beastman. And the $5 plus supporters are on the LED panel next to me here, and will be scrolling on the screen in front of me, and you're all in the description of the videos that drop. I'll let you go. I love you all. Have a great one. Stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, shelter in place, wear your masks if that's what the CDC and the Surgeon General and the WHO are now saying, and just stay safe and healthy, everybody. We'll get through this together. Love you all. Bye.